beginning by sinking in and creating alignment between the team. So I would like our very, very first step to actually connect between us. We can do it with closed eyes over a very small meditation. And then we will start talking about, we will catch it from where we left. So why we're doing what we're doing and expanding into a gift economy as we were planning. So please sit in a comfortable position and allow yourself to be in a very comfortable state with your column very straight. Close your eyes and let your hands lie on your knees with your palms facing downwards. Take a deep breath from the nose. Breathe out from the mouth and relax. Take a second deep breath. Breathe out and relax even further. Take a third deep breath. Breathe out and relax completely. Allow your attention to follow your breath as you're breathing in and breathing out with your natural rhythm. And allow the rest of the world to just disappear. Right now, all that matters is just your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Everything is just a breath. And as you're breathing in, you can start following your breath and understanding that it goes deeper than your nose, down to your throat, to your lungs, and lower down to your belly, making a circle and going up to your lungs, to your throat, and coming out from your nose. Follow the stream of air coming into your body, giving you life. From the very first step in your nostrils to the very last place in the bottom of your belly, and again up and out through your lungs, your throat, and your nose. Understand that sometimes the things we pay attention the least are the most important. We can stay hours without food or drink. We cannot stay more than 1 minute without breath. Allow this subtle realization enter your awareness. Pay gratitude to the breath that is continuously there, together with you, the last couple of years, couple of decades. And hopefully will be there for a couple of decades more. This subtle form of life is constantly feeding you with new information, with fresh air, with new life. Now take a deep breath from your nose. See it going down all the way to your belly and take it out from the same path. Take a second deep breath. All the way to your belly and from your belly out from your nostrils. Take a third deep breath. All the way down and out from your nostrils and mouth. You can open your eyes, come back to the group in your own time, however you feel comfortable. Good to have you, Shagita. Thank you, everybody, for connecting. And allow me to give you a small introduction why we started like that today. Earlier today, in project, we did exactly the same, just for quite longer time. So we had in 1 hour tuning meditation, and then we had a 2 hours meeting. What happened to this day was a reminder for me that we need to start any kind of action of our business from where we stand. So myself personally, I won't start my day without meditating. So why should I start connecting with other people without doing it? I'm not suggesting that everybody should do it. What I'm suggesting is that you have to find your own truth. What is something that gives you life? What is something that gives you, that makes you feel aligned? What is something that you will do anyhow? You don't do it specially for your business. You just do it because you love doing it. And I know that for Shankan, this is dancing, for example. And I would like to catch it from there. So what is this one thing that you definitely love doing and you will do even without any kind of payment or any kind of contribution? You just love doing it and you're just gonna do it anyhow. I would like you to take a couple of seconds and think about this one thing. It's one thing that you absolutely love doing. For me, for example, is meditating. I love doing it. I love doing it with my colleagues. I love doing it with my friends. And it's maybe the thing that probably you don't want to make a business out of it because it feels so personal that you don't want to put money into the transaction. So for me, this one thing was meditation. I did try to make coaching out of meditation, but it was not feeling good. I was not feeling good charging for meditation. So right now I do it just with the people that I feel that I want to do it. I do it with my team. I do it when I'm in a beautiful place. So think about this one thing. And I would like all of you to write down in the chat, which is this one thing that you love doing. In the meanwhile, Shankan, maybe you would like to share a little bit about your one thing that you would definitely do no matter what, and you just love sharing with the world.
A day with about 20 minutes of silence because I like to talk a lot. It is necessary for me to be silent. So typically, I start with 20 minutes of silence. During the day, especially now, I am in self isolation in a large house all by myself. My family is all over the world. My wife is in Gujarat, India. My daughter is in the UK, England. My son is in New Jersey. So it's hard to connect. Maximum we can do Zoom like this or WhatsApp. So I spend at least half an hour doing listening to music and dancing because that gives me the exercise I need. So those are two things I do. And the third thing is I make sure every day either I go out for a walk, which is allowed here because it is not a complete lockdown. I can at least go to the grocery store or and just watch birds, animals. They're much better now than ever before because all the roads are empty. Pure raste khali hai. So there's a lot of scope for animals and birds to be there and greenery to be there. So I spend a lot of time in nature. So that's been my routine. And even otherwise, even when I was in business, when I was full time engaged running companies, I made sure at least half an hour during lunchtime, early morning 20 minutes, and evening half an hour was my time. Rest of the time I was usually with people, either at home or in the work. So engaging with people is very helpful to me. I like it, but I also need my alone time. So you have to find what makes you happy and what makes you recharge your battery, if you will. it is very important to find that.
Absolutely. For me, it's the same. Arslan already knows that today, actually, I took a day almost without tech. I just did only the necessary. The necessary was my meeting with my team and this course right now. Everything else was minimized down to almost nothing. Was only sharing inspiration about the project, nothing else. Because I realized yesterday that I was getting into my limits with tech. You saw how many problems we had in the chat, in the actual conversation. These things are not by chance, they're not by coincidence. We can affect tech, and the universe can give us signs when we are overdoing it, and it really throws us away out of our own things when we don't understand it alone. So please write in the chat, what is this one thing that you absolutely love doing? Each one of you. Choose one thing. So it can be singing, it can be praying, it can be cooking, it can be walking, it can be 20 minutes of silence, anything. It can be reading book, it can be reading the news, like it can be anything. Find this one thing that you really make you recharge. So it's your time. What is this one thing? Luciano, are you asking?
Learning for the university. Learning.
What do you like to learn?
I learning to be a lawyer, language and literature.
Okay. So law, literature, and language.
Yes.
I'm gonna write it down in the chat. I see from Shagufta it's praying with study. So when you mean, I'm trying to unmute you. When you mean, so Shagufta, if you can unmute yourself, and when you mean praying with study, explain us a little bit the practice that you're using. We can hear you. Shagufta? Shagufta, can you hear us?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your practice.
Yes,
so when you say praying with study, what do you do?
Yes. Because nowadays very at home, so that's why we are at home just praying with study. Because without study, it's not a good at home. You're very much time, so that's why it's Allah of मौका दिया है यानी कि it's Allah praying and with your work at home and try to best. So that's why it's my opinion. We are all at home, so praying and with study and knowledge. Not a it's a not good habit. It's a very
Thank you very much. And I have from Shankan, that you like singing, dancing, watching nature, standing in the silence, deep conversations with friends, new and old. How about Arif? How about Arslan? How about, is there anybody else in there? Yeah, I think that's all. And Professor, oh, okay. So who else would like? I would like to hear all of you. So Professor Rafai, what is one thing that really makes you recharge? Arif, what is one thing that makes you recharge? Arslan, what is one thing that makes you recharge? You can write in the comments so we can all see it. Yourself and tell us, well, how do you like to recharge? Arif, are you hearing us? Hi. So, would you like to share with us what is one thing that makes you recharge?
Yeah, I'm writing down in the comment, but I will tell you this.
We cannot
I
hear you
have
very
clearly
well.
no
Can you
idea.
go closer to your microphone?
I have no clearly no idea about it. But one thing which can charge me and which can fully energetic me. When someone told me that we have an idea about a new business, uh, we have an idea about a new startup. So this thing actually charged me.
You will have to
And
write me at the chat because I didn't hear almost anything. I don't know if anybody else was able to hear, but it was like very, very low, the sound. So please write in the chat box if you can. Let's try like that. Can you try once again? When someone share any idea about business or starting a company or new startup, that is how Arif is recharging. Perfect. So the question is, what is one thing that makes you recharge your batteries? That makes you feel that you are getting back your energy. And Professor Rafai, would you like to share? What is the thing that make you recharge? Professor Rafai, can you hear us? Please unmute yourself if you can, because we cannot hear you. Okay, let's see, hear him. So let's try. Usman, are you here? Would you like to share what is the one thing that makes you recharge? You can unmute your mic to speak because we cannot hear you otherwise. No, Usman, it's a question of today. What is one thing that makes you recharge? So for many people are saying that 20 minutes of silence make them recharge, dancing or walking in the nature make them recharge. So what is your one thing? Please unmute your mic so we can hear you. Can you unmute yourself so we can hear you? Okay. If you cannot unmute yourself, please write down what is your one thing. Guys, we have to make the process a little bit faster. So please find where's your mic so you know how to unmute yourselves. And let's keep it rolling because it's just boring for the others to keep waiting for us to talk. Let's move forward. Why we're searching for this one thing? I would like all of you to think about it because yesterday we had the assignment of understanding why we're doing what we're doing. And by the time we understand that, and by the time we understand the second thing, so what makes us recharge, we can combine the two so we start creating actions that actually make our business grow while make us happier as individuals and owners. So I would like to invite Shankan to tell us your experience of how are you introducing all of these things in your life or in your businesses, and how each one of them can actually introduce what they love into their business so they have something that makes them recharge in the actual business model.
So did you want me to start talking?
Please do.
So,
How do you include this in your business or in your life?
So I'll give you an example live here. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear
Yes.
me? Raise your hand. And also, how many of you like Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's music? I know most people are from Pakistan. If you like Nusrat, please raise your hand.
I don't know it, to tell you the truth.
Okay. I'll sing an old song. About 30 years ago, he sang an amazing song called Afri Afri. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a great singer, but this is how I engage with people. If I'm in if I'm in Mexico, then I don't sing Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. I sing the song here, which is like Kaoma, Kaoma Lambada. But now that I'm talking to people in Pakistan, here's how I would start. हुस्न दाता की तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं, आफरी 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 आफरी, जो भी देखे अगर वो कहे हम नशी, आफरी 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 आफरी, हुस्न दाता की तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं. How many of you know this song? How many of you like this song?
I like the song. I don't know why I like it.
So can you unmute your mic and sing along? It's no big deal. It's just us. We are sharing a song that we all like. है ना? So unmute your mic and start singing, and I'll start so we can all sing together. Okay? 1, 2, 3. हुस्ने दाता की तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं,
network
आफरी 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 आफरी, जो भी देखे.
can't write message
So you
or
see,
sending message.
it's a very simple thing. We didn't do anything complicated. I'm not a great singer. I'm not. I don't go on radio. I don't go on TV. And my dancers are also like that. लोग बोलते हैं ये तो बम्बई का टप्पोरी डांसर है, मतलब street dancer from Bombay. But that is perfectly fine. It's a great way to engage with people. See, you are from different parts of Pakistan, and this is my way of saying I respect you by singing one of my favorite songs by Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. And more recently, the same song was sung by his nephew, Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, on Coke Studios, if you know. So this is a way to engage with people. So I always do aisi harkate. I always find a way to connect with people that I know. So in my day-to-day life, I'm a bathroom singer. But when I'm in business, let's say I were going to Spain or Argentina or something, then I will start humming a tune which they will like, la 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 bam ba na 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 na. La 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 ria di aria riba riba. So I may not even know most of the words. It's fine. It's fine if I don't know the words, but I can connect with them just within 1 or 2 minutes. No amount of words can connect this deeply as a song, a tune, maybe a statement, maybe something where we have Luciano here, right? So just one song could be Hey Macarena. So it's a way to show respect. How many of you know Macarena?
Yeah, I think everybody knows Macarena.
So maybe we can Macarena for Luciano, and Aliki also lived in Spain for a few years and many other Latino countries, right?
Yeah,
So how do we
exactly.
sing Macarena? Who knows the words? I don't know the words, but I can
Do you remember
follow.
the dance?
Yes, we can even do the dance. Do you want to lead, Aliki?
I don't remember the words. That's why they didn't have words. Did it have words?
Hey, Macarena. So the point is, there are simple ways where the entire body, the entire mind, and bhavana or feelings, you know, there's a very famous, I'm very much a fan of many of these Sufi songs. And ruh means like the soul. Is that correct? रूह बनकर जरे जरे में समा जाता हूँ मैं. In other words, I become a soul and I touch people in every part of their body and mind. It's such
Let's
a
do a
way to
small.
describe.
Let's do a small question. How many of you right now feel more connected to Shankan, or you trust Shankan more than before? Check with yourself. He just sang a song that is from your culture. You don't know much more about him, but for some reason you feel much more connected to him, most probably, isn't it? And he didn't do it for that, but that was the outcome of expressing his own self the way that he loves doing it, right?
So whichever culture I go to, whether it's I've traveled to about 20 countries, I make it a point to learn how to say hello, whether it is a yasu or it's a bon dia or a buenos tardes, buenos noches, basic things, como sta or multe grazie, that's Italiano, right? Because by just saying that, multe grazie, I'm not trying to suck up to Luciano. I'm just saying thank you in his own language. How does that feel, Luciano?
Grazie in italiano. Io parlo molto
Yeah.
bene italiano.
So how does it feel when I say grazie? Molte grazie.
Molte grazie, bambino.
Yeah, see, it's like shukriya, you know. Walaikum assalam, salam alaikum. Basic things. They don't take us any, they don't cost us anything. A very quick of connecting. And this is necessary no matter where we go in life. We have to form a relationship with the people we work with. And yesterday we were talking a little bit about social capital. We were talking about, I would even call it emotional capital. How you connect with people, how you relate to people. That has tremendous value in life with our own children, with our own family, with our friends. If I just say, amigo, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué onda? How does that feel? You know what I'm saying? It brings a smile. अरे यार क्या कर रहे हो बिदादरी कहाँ जा रहे हो just asking people and listening to what they have to say, you know, just being with them has a lot of value. Now you can take it next step and say really listening to them, understanding their stories, as Aliki did, sitting in silence before an important meeting, checking in with ourselves is very helpful. But also when we are in a meeting with someone, whether it is one-on-one or in a small group, it is important to check in कि लोगों के मन में क्या विचार है, what are they going through, how are they right now, what is bugging them, what is exciting them, so that then we can respond to that. We are not trying to react to them. हम उनको मस्का मारने के लिए नहीं कर रहे, हम उनको समझने के लिए, to understand them, to really understand where they are coming from. Do they want to hear a song like Kayaita, or do they want to hear a simple, gentle prayer? You know.
And
So
exactly as you're saying, like the checking in. First of all, I would like to see how many of you actually understand what checking in with somebody else means. Because I know that many people don't really use this term or don't know how to do it actually. So checking in is a process where each person in a circle or in a group express exactly how they feel this specific moment without implying anything about the other. So it's very personal. It's about how I am right now with my own self, my own being. It has nothing to do with what you said or what we will do after. It's like very, very personal. I would like actually for us to do a very short check-in. It can be 30 seconds, each one of us, just to understand the process. Because the check-in is a process that can accelerate any type of meeting and any type of process that you're going to do with your business. So Shankar, would you like to start with a very short?
मैं बोलना चाहूँ, आपको कैसा लग रहा है in this moment? आपको कैसा लग रहा है? आप क्या करना चाहते हो? 30 seconds में आप बताइए. अरे मैंने जैसे कहा, मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि मैं आपके साथ एक गाना गाया हूँ. मैं आपसे भी सुनना चाहता हूँ. So Arif ji, would you like to say something?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
अच्छा सर शंकर, आपका सवाल अगर दोबारा हो जाए क्योंकि यहाँ पे वॉइस बहुत इंटरप्ट हो रही है.
अच्छा, how are you feeling in this moment?
There is some network issue.
Why I'm feeling great, sir.
Interruption in voice.
Especially when I want to join this class, or I will join this class. So I really don't have any idea about
I'm
it.
just
There, so I really don't have any idea about the class. But from day first and day second, especially in day second, when you are talking about the leadership qualities and all about your past. So I'm really excited that anyone can lead the world. Anyone can lead any business. So simply, I feel great, and in future for joining these kind of classes, and especially with you, especially with Aliko and all other friends. So it's definitely will build up my trust and build up my interest also.
Thank you.
Thank you. Uzma, would you like to say something? आपका आवाज clearly आ नहीं रहा था. Uzma ji,
Uzma?
can you hear us, Uzma?
Uzma, can you hear us? Please unmute your mic so we can hear you also. Uzma, unmute your mic. We don't hear you.
Maybe we can start with someone else. Shagufta, आप कुछ बताना चाहते हो?
Shagufta, do you hear us? I think the internet is not helping a lot. Shagufta, do you hear us? Hi. Shagufta?
Somehow I think people are not able to hear each other.
Yeah.
हाँ, आप कुछ बताना चाहते हो शगुफ्ता जी?
मैं फिर ओपन करती फिर डिस्कनेक्ट थोड़ा सा नेट
Acha, so the person who was speaking, was it Shagufta or Uzma, was saying that her network was getting disconnected multiple times. Professor Rafe Kadri, आप कुछ बताना चाहते हो? How are you feeling अभी? Are you able to talk to us?
Professor Rafael was asking what
do you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
And can you see me?
No, we can just hear you.
We can hear you.
You can just hear me. You cannot see me.
That's correct.
But what it is saying that you okay? Well, the point is, what I really like to do is argue with youngsters. That way, I really learn what the current generation is thinking about.
I guess this is
argue. I understand that this is not the normal accepted way, but when you argue with youngsters, you really learn what the young generation is thinking, and that gives you thoughts and ideas about what need to be done to help them to improve the world, identify new products, identify topics for new lectures.
So, Professor Kadri, आपको अभी कैसा लग रहा है? How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm relaxed. You see, I was away from the key. I said AFK 10, but actually I was away from my keyboard for 20 minutes. And since I was talking to my granddaughters who are on 3 and 1, I'm fully charged. I can now read for next 5 hours.
Acha.
And can discuss things for next 3 hours.
Wow. Luciano, would you like to share how you are feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling good.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
You see, Shankar,
Haji,
it's Shankar Hemade or Shankar Hemadi?
the second one, Hemadi is good. Huh.
Hemadi.
Huh.
Okay, it's a Marathwari name.
I am from Konkan, which is Goa.
Goa. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Goa in Maharashtra?
No, it's a separate state. It was ruled by the Portuguese. So we
It
have a little
was.
bit of Portuguese in my language.
I think you got okay. I have a very simple question. You see, I've been working for others all my life, and we all know one of the three biggest addictive things is monthly salary. How to crush that idea? How to move away from that idea of monthly salary? Because this is what I believe is stopping everybody from jumping the ship and trying something new.
I think you have asked a very good question, Professor Kadri. How do you say your last name? Is it Kadri?
Yes, it's Khadri.
Kadri. तो आपका सवाल बहुत अच्छा है. And all of us face this when we are new to business, especially if we don't have a family background in business. If you are exposed to business from childhood, if you have seen business, it's much easier. But many of us are not. Many of us grew up in households where salaried income became the norm, especially in the cities. So, first, I recommend that people save enough. Maybe it is 6 months' salary, maybe whatever they need. They have to have enough resources, or they should have a bank loan or some sort of backup so that if their new business fails, they are not going to be on the street. And this is necessary because we have to be comfortable. If you look at the brain, it is easy to go into distress because the brain is very good at finding all the problems and the flaws and what can go wrong. So first it's like a child. There's a childish brain in us, what we call the reptilian brain, that works for survival. So it is necessary to make sure that we can survive at least a certain amount of time comfortably. And when I say we have to survive, that means me, my family, whoever is dependent on me is taken care of for whatever period of time I'm comfortable. Once that is done, and that could be a loan, it could be even be a line of credit, whichever. Maybe it is a assurance by a friend or a relative or an investor saying, I'm guaranteeing you for the next 6 months. So some kind of reassurance is necessary because it's not like there's going to be a customer who will pay you every day, especially in the current circumstances where everybody is locked up at home. You cannot start a dance class easily because people are at home. Then you have to make sure that somebody gives you some money, otherwise you cannot just drop your job. So that is the first premise, safety. The second thing is you should really understand who you are serving, why you are serving, what is the problem you are trying to solve. Without a deep understanding who my customer is, what is the problem that they are facing, आप करना क्या चाहते हो और किसके लिए. जैसे I just sang a song, Afri Afri. Some of you smiled, but as long as I'm singing it for freely and I'm taking 2 minutes, no problem. If I start singing from tomorrow for 1 hour and put the video in front of you, most of you will probably close your ears. बहुत हो गया, you know. I would rather listen to the original Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan or Rahat or Abida Parveen, or there are so many other good singers. So I should know my audience and know whether the whatever I'm giving to them is of value to them. See, 1 minute singing is more for comic relief, for connecting. But if I do it for half an hour, does my customer have the stamina to take what I'm giving? Do they really need it? Maybe people are looking at how to get business guidance and they are not interested in listening to my music. So I should limit it to no more than 1 minute to connect. But then I have to focus on the question that is asked. Like, how do I answer the question that is asked in this case? So, what is the most important problem I'm trying to solve? Who am I trying to solve for? How am I going to solve? What will they get out of it? Will they be willing to pay for it? Or will they, if not money, will they give me something else in return? These are basic questions: what, how, why, where, when, how much, and will it be sustainable? Maybe one time I can sing, but every day if I sing, even if I'm a professional singer, you may not want to buy it from me. So maybe I have to expand my market. Maybe I sing the same song to 1 million people on YouTube, and maybe 5 people will give me money today. Maybe another 5 will give me tomorrow. Will that be sufficient? तो थोड़ा मार्केट रिसर्च करना पड़ता है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना चाहिए कि is this of value? How much are they willing to compensate or take care of me? So many open questions have to be asked when we start a business. So the biggest fear is the lack of guarantees. When you have a salaried job, we all more or less have a guarantee. Even if we are sitting at home right now, many of you are probably still getting paid. You, sir, as a professor, probably get some paycheck, or other people are getting some guarantees. If I was in business today, and if my business required me to be face to face with a customer, my payments may stop. So we have to be aware of emergencies, changing circumstances. Yesterday, for example, our mics were not working, so Aliki could not even continue the class. So if it was a paid class, people will say, "Give my money back," because it is not their fault. It is not Arif's fault or Luciano's fault if he cannot hear, but they want value for their time and money. So we cannot. We have to be ready for contingencies. We have to be ready for any emergencies, any changes also. So, so did I answer your question?
As a matter of fact, you have raised three more questions.
Yes.
That simply means that you are in the right direction. So the point is, now let me uh, reveal something.
Yeah.
Once, based on my experience in my first class, hats off to Aliko, there was an incident in Karachi. Some 300 to 400 persons were fired from a very big textile exporter group. Okay? Earlier, I used to teach some classes in at Textile Institute. So some of the students or their friends were there. So what I told them, okay, let's jump the ship. Let's restart. We created a WhatsApp group, what to do when you are fired. Today we had our first business meeting, 10 of us. What is one problem related to the textile industry that we can solve? And we can have, say, 20,000 customers in next 2 years. It was a big dare. It was a big dare. That was their first job, 1 year or 2 years. They were very afraid. Uh, I've been working for different organizations for last 30 years. I said, let's start. I can help you in company formation, how to manage account, how to deal with banks, how to write HR manuals. You identify products. I can help you in digital marketing. Let's identify a product. We can even have 7.8 billion customers. We have identified many questions which are unanswered, and I believe in next 1 years we'll be answering some or some may not. So is it the right approach or wrong approach?
In my opinion, that is the right approach. Asking this earlier, Professor, you said you like to argue with young people.
Yes.
So these
That's
are
why I'm
productive.
arguing you. That's why I'm arguing you with you.
Yes, yes, yes. These are very productive conversations. By asking questions and getting to the heart of the matter, who are your customers? Who are the first customers? Are you in textiles making sherwani? Are you making kurte? Are you making shirts? Are you making from cotton? Who is the supplier? Who is your? How much is it going to cost you? Why are you making it? Are there other people selling the same products? Hundreds of questions. So this becomes more a dialogue where there is a lot of introspection. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Is there a need for what I'm doing? And am I really serving customers? Are there other companies like maybe a Reliance or some other existing vendor doing it cheaper, better, faster? Are there goods from China that I'll be competing with? Are there bigger brands, maybe an Italian brand or an American brand that people prefer? And how will I compete with that? Lots of open questions. Open questions are necessary because if we already have the answer, then we are not helping people. We are
How
asking
do
questions.
we identify one question? So, like, I
Sorry?
think for each one of us, it would be interesting to identify what is the problem that I'm solving. One problem, because we have to start with one problem. When you identify way too many problems, usually you don't start anything.
Yeah,
So,
start with one problem. Yeah.
exactly. Your assignment for tomorrow would be to identify one problem that you're solving or that you want to solve if you haven't started. Because then we can go into design thinking and actually expand this problem and understand how we can solve it. So right now,
Aliki,
this
you
is
may
for
want to
tomorrow.
give the question in writing as a
Sorry.
homework.
Okay,
Please
sorry.
write it down in the chat. Give it in
I have
writing.
written it down. It's already in the chat. So today's assignment is what is the problem I'm trying to solve? And I would like you all of you to think about it. And I would like you also to keep track of our assignments. So the first question was why I'm doing what I am doing, and now it's what is the problem I'm trying to solve. And today we also identified one thing that allows us to recharge. So I would like you all to keep track of that because I'm going to ask it in the end of the class. I want to see your progress so we can give you more ideas in the end of the class and or connections with people who can help you further on. But if I don't have your progress, I cannot do that. So please keep track or write it to the chat, write it to the WhatsApp group, your assignment, so we keep track. So then we can really help you after the class with connections to people, to ideas and everything.
By the way, is there anybody else in the class? I don't see Uzma's face and I don't see if there's anyone else. Arslan,
Wait,
would you
let me
like
see.
to check in and say how you are doing?
I think
Is
Arslan is
Arslan there?
in the group right now. But we have people who got disconnected.
I guess it's Uzma's turn to get connected and disconnected today. Now we can see you.
Oh, we lost her
We lost her
again.
again. So
Yeah, and I think her internet is very unstable. Oh,
the
there she is
answering
again.
questions is easy for me. अगर आपको कोई सवाल हो, if you have any questions, please ask because it's much easier for me to focus the discussion on the most important problems you are trying to solve in your work or in your business.
Sir, can you hear me? Sir Shankar?
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है पूछ सकती हूँ
One at a time. Who was the first person who started?
I think Arif, you can go on. And then
Shagufta
And
Khan,
then Shagufta.
Shagufta Khan,
Okay.
please continue. Okay.
अच्छा जी.
थैंक यू मेरा सवाल है कि बिजनेस में इंग्लिश क्यों ज़रूरी है हम बाइज़त कौम उर्दू हम चाहे वो हिंदुस्तान में चाहे पाकिस्तान में अदर कंट्री का तो नाम नहीं लूँगी उनको तो है ही वो फॉरेनर तो क्या हम उर्दू में बिजनेस नहीं चला सकते ये मेरा सवाल है व्हाई हैव यू कंटिन्यू इन उर्दू
I will translate Shagusta's question to English so that both Aliki as well as Luciano will know what she was saying. She was saying, if I'm doing business in Pakistan and in India, do I have to know English? Can I not do my business in Urdu or Hindi? And that's an excellent question. Urdu, by the way, Urdu and Hindi are one language connected at the root with origins from different locations. But most of people in India understand Hindi Urdu, and most people in Pakistan understand Urdu Hindi. In other words, it's a language that can be commonly used. At least I would say 500 million people from India understand Hindi Urdu, एंड शायद पाकिस्तान में 100% लोग उर्दू समझ सकते हैं. Most people understand Urdu. So the question is that is it necessary for me to learn English and do I have to do business in English? The answer is no. The answer is who is your customer? आप किसके साथ काम करना चाहते हो? कौन आप किन लोगों के साथ संपर्क है और उनकी चाहते क्या है? What is that they want? If your customers are very fluent and comfortable in Urdu or Hindi, so you must talk to them in that language. If I'm going to do a business in Mexico, it would be not very smart for me to only speak in English. Because 100% of the people in Mexico speak Espanol or Spanish. And not only that, they speak that version of Spanish which is spoken in Mexico. मतलब मेक्सिको के रहन सहन मुझे जानना जरूरी है, मेक्सिको की भाषा जानना जरूरी है, मेक्सिको के रीति रिवाज जानना जरूरी है. If I'm doing business in Pakistan, the least I have to know is the customs. Somebody here said that this is the time to do prayer. I should know what are the times of prayer. I should know that in Pakistan, probably they do namaz 5 times a day. If I'm doing business with people in Hindustan, or India, I should know what are their customs. There are amazing things, products from Pakistan that sell in India, and the products from India that sell in Pakistan, where the medium of conveyance, the language is Hindi or Urdu. But understanding the culture is necessary also. आपको जरूरी है जानना कि आप क्या बेच रहे हो और क्यों बेच रहे हो, उनकी रीति रिवाजें क्या है. अगर मैं दिवाली के प्रोडक्ट्स पाकिस्तान में बेचूं या सिर्फ रमजान के प्रोडक्ट्स हिंदुस्तान में बेचूं तो मेरा मार्केट लिमिटेड हो जाएगा. अगर आप रमजान की जो शुरू है या शुरू हो रहा है उसके प्रोडक्ट्स बेचे, then the Muslims will like it in India. But if I try to sell you Diwali products, then it will be a flop in Pakistan. So it is absolutely necessary to speak the language, but also understand the need. What is it that our customer wants?
Exactly.
So actually start where you are. Start with your strongest base. Luciano, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Urdu is the official language from Pakistan.
Yes, it's the national language of Pakistan. And I would say Urdu and Hindi, which is the national language of India, are at least 80% of the vocabulary shared, more than 80%.
I would
There
like
are some words that are...
to bring into the discussion one question from Professor Rafai that he's saying how to face that fear. And I asked him which fear do you mean? And he's saying the fear of the unknown customer. So how do you not knowing your customer practically? I guess that this is the final question. Would you have some tips on that? Because that's a very interesting question.
Well, first of all, if something is unknown, it is natural to fear. अगर हमें पता नहीं कौन हमारे सामने है, coronavirus, for example, is an unknown fear, right? Or you go into the darkness in a new street, कोई नई जगह नए इलाके में जा रहे हो, there is going to be fear. So let us face the fact that if it is unknown, then there will be fear. So the question is, how do we get to know the unknown? You have to spend some time getting to know. Yesterday I saw your faces for the first time. मैंने आरिफ का चेहरा, प्रोफेसर कादरी का चेहरा, शगुफ्ता का चेहरा, फुजमा का चेहरा, I saw Luciano's face.
We lost you for a second. Can you hear us back?
The first time.
Shankan, can you hear us? We lost him for a second. Still talking about fears.
The video is clear, but the voice is not clear. It's very choppy, but the video is very clear. I can see Shagufta nodding.
It's the internet. We cannot do much about that. Unfortunately, it doesn't depend on us. But I would like Shankan
The
to.
question is, you see, technically speaking, voice takes less bandwidth compared to the video. I can see everybody nodding their face, you writing, but I cannot hear. That's the dilemma.
That's sorry, George. Always there's a priority to video than to chat. But was it correct, the question about the Professor Afai, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So the
but
question,
the voice is choppy.
I cannot do anything about that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, please repeat your question. Please repeat your question. Repeat your question.
Wait a second. So we have. So I was just answering. I was just checking. Shankai was answering the correct question. So was it your question of how to overcome the fear of the unknown customer?
So, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you back.
My laptop went out of charge, so I had to change to my mobile phone, my cell phone.
We can even hear your smile.
Thank you. By the way, I hear some children laughing in the background. So
you cannot stop them. Children should not or cannot be stopped.
Yes, they're part of the conversation. So dealing with unknown is always challenging. So it is necessary to get to know your customer. If your customer is all of Pakistan, if you're talking about the entire population of Pakistan, it is not possible to know everyone individually. But let's start with something small. Let's start with where you are. Let's say you want to start in Lahore. Which city are you in, by the way? I don't know which city you are in right now.
I'm in Karachi.
Acha. So if you want to start a business, nothing better than starting with customers right where you are. So get to know some people in Karachi. You have some idea who is a customer. So you cannot start with an unknown. You have to start with somebody who you know. Maybe can you give an example of a product that you are thinking of, Professor Kadri? What is the product you are trying to sell and to whom?
We are focusing on recycling clothes.
Acha, fantastic.
And it's not just simple recycling. We are planning to convert them into something vintage or high value products.
Fantastic. So do you know anybody among your friends or family, somebody you know who may be interested in recycling their clothes and getting back something vintage? Do you know anybody like that?
Many.
Okay, so these are known people. They are not unknown. You start with them. You ask them those questions. You may go to Arif Bhai and say, Arif Mia, मैं एक नया business start कर रहा हूँ. I'm starting a new business. So you have to ask those questions to a potential customer. Let's say that's Arif, and you go and ask Arif, this is my idea. I think there's a need to recycle clothes and create something vintage. Would you be interested? Arif may say, नहीं मेरे पास time नहीं है. I'm busy with the coronavirus. Then you'll have to wait. So start with the known. Start with where you are. It's like the simplest example I can give is, मुझे यहाँ से कराची आना है. Let's say I want to come from Mexico City to Karachi. I have to know first where I am, where exactly I am, and where is my nearest airport. I have to know where I am located first. That's why we check in ourselves. That's why becoming conscious of who I am, what I'm doing, what is my purpose is the first step. The second step is, okay, I want to go to Karachi. And the question is, why do I want to go to Karachi? Well, the reason may be to meet with Professor Kadri, maybe to meet with Arif, to meet with Shagufta. Then I have to know, are they in the same city? Are they interested in meeting me? Am I going to spend my own money or will they give me the money? Anek questions will come up. So I have to start with the known. Maybe I know Rehan longer. So I'll call, Are Rehan Mia, aap mujhe sponsor karoge? Then the question is, do I get the visa? You see how easily the questions pop up if I know the person. If I don't even know who I'm trying to serve, then there is no business. I have to know at least some of the people I want to serve. Maybe one person. Start with that one person and ask those questions. And they may say you're wasting your time. They say, okay, maybe I'm wasting my time. What else do you recommend I do? So asking questions, Professor Kadri, you love to argue, but the argument starts with questions. So start with
Yes.
the most meaningful questions.
I have another question, which is a sideline question. Are you a Shakahari or do you eat meat?
Very interesting question, and it's not a sideline for me. I used to eat all kinds of meat when from the age of 16 to the age of 32. So I ate everything from beef to pork to chicken to mutton. But something happened in my life, and I decided not to eat. So now I only eat eggs and dairy products. But I don't. I still eat eggs, but I don't eat any other meat. But yeah, for 16 years, I ate all kinds of meat. And given a choice between starvation and eating meat, I will happily eat meat. वैसे मौका नहीं मिला. I have always had. I'm not going to say I was starved to death. I will eat whatever it takes to
Most of
survive.
my family came from South India, so most of
Oh,
them are vegetarian.
acha, acha. Very interesting. Very interesting.
So Shankar, I have a question about it. If we have planned anything very carefully, we have searched the market, we have do anything about it, and then we going to face a failure business, whichever I do. I fail a business in my new startup. It's a consulting company. So we research the full market. We research the entire industrial estate and all or no, and then we fail. Then I start a new business, general supplier. Then I start a new business, a travel agency, and all of these businesses are running very slowly, and
Yeah.
I can't get the profit. So what's the basic reason?
So there is no one reason why something will succeed or something will fail. We have so many things that are needed. It's like saying, if you're, as I said yesterday, if you want to make biryani, okay, you need many things. You need rice, chawal, you need masale, you need some oil, you need a variety of things to make it successful. But even before that, you need a customer who wants to eat that biryani. And maybe when you're starting, people say, we would love your biryani. But you need to know whether they're willing to pay and how much they're willing to pay. And maybe they will like it one time, but the second time they don't want it. So these are always unknown. These are, again, just like we may not know the customer as an individual, we also don't have the answer to these questions to begin. So we have to ask these questions again and again. In other words, each time you are serving the customer, like people will come and say, जी आज की बिरयानी कैसे रही? आप कैसे हो? How are you today? Do you like the biryani? Is there something I should change? So sometimes we are not used to asking questions because, at least in India, I found that people feel that if we ask questions, that means I'm doubtful, that I'm not confident, that the customer will think, Are ye kya ullu ka pattha hai? He doesn't even know what he's doing. So then don't ask that question in front of everybody. But you have a few friends in the business, maybe some customer that you trust. You ask them one on one. You do a survey. You go to them and ask them again and again. It is not enough to create a product that people like at the beginning because people's ideas change, people's interests change. Right now, if I do a business that requires face to face interaction, it is going to fail. right now because of the lockdown, because people cannot travel. So what succeeded even last month may not succeed this month and may have to be put on hold. And not everything can go online. For example, अगर आपका कोई ढाबा है, you're creating some amazing food, fresh, and people have to see, or you're doing a live show, then that won't succeed because you cannot provide the food. You have to find a way to deliver the food in this particular circumstances, which is not easy.
Mm-hmm. And I'm
Did I
putting
answer your
down, like, from what you're saying, Shankan, I'm putting down some of the reasons that might be something that you want to consider to see if you can make it better so you have more clients. So it's either the price. So you have an amazing product, but are your clients able to pay for it or happy to pay for it? Product. So is your food, for example, is it good? Is it really good, or is it kind of okayish? Because if it's kind of okayish, nobody's gonna run and buy it. What is your message so the people do understand what you're doing, so they come to you easily? They get that you're selling food, for example, or they think that you're selling drinks and they don't understand what you're doing. And fourth, service. So exactly, how do you distribute? So how your product is reaching your clients? Because each one of them or all of them might not be in the optimal state, and that can slow down your business. And please, Shankan, tell me your opinion about that, or if you are that there's another parameter that we should add here.
Yeah. I would add one more question to it, which is this a need that is recurring? ये बार-बार need है, or is it a one-time need? For example, there are people who set up a new business or register a new business, incorporating a new business. For each business, that is a one-time need. Or creating logo for a business, that is a business that is not very day-to-day. Okay, if I'm in the business of creating a logo or your business, or registering your child into a classroom, so it is only once a year, maybe one time in a year I will register your or help you find a new school, but it is not a recurring business. In that case, I need thousands and thousands of customers, because once I've registered your child into a school, you're not going to come to me for a long time. So the question is, what is the frequency of doing business? If it is making biryani, then you should know how many times a week, or how many times a day, or how many times a month people want to eat your biryani. Then you will know how frequent they'll come to you and are they willing to pay. And then you can calculate how many customers you need minimum, how many paying customers you need, so that you'll have a successful business. Even textiles. Let's say you're making some unique Ferwani, but people don't buy Ferwanis every day. So how often will they buy? How many will they buy? What is the money they are willing to pay? How are you competing with the hottest brand in Ferwani? So there are many such questions to ask. Did I answer your question, by the way?
Arif, did it answer your question?
Yes, sir. I really understand it.
Thank you.
And
is there anybody else who has a question for Shankan?
And Arif, are you able to reflect into the causes why any of your businesses did not succeed? For example, travel agency. Right now, the whole travel industry is going through a big change. Online booking is becoming so big. But did you face that? What are the challenges you face in your travel business? And only answer if you want, if you're comfortable discussing that. If you're not comfortable, then don't. Because you have to
The
keep,
main
you
thing
have to
is
keep
about it. The main thing is about it. The very tough competition. The
yeah.
second thing is about. The second thing is about that if we have to, with full potential in travel agency, we have to get an IATA ID, which is very expensive. This is
You
the
mean
second option.
international? Uh,
We get this ID for uh, booking from all over the airline in the whole world, and the government of Pakistan were guaranteed us that yes, he have a certain amount of 5 to 6 million with us as guarantee. So they don't worry about their money. So it's really expensive. These are the second thing. And the third one is that we need to start this business with joint of currency exchange. All right, we need to assemble these two businesses, but uncertainty in Pakistan, the State Bank of Pakistan has announced that all the currency exchange businesses will be going to close, or they are not issuing any other license. So in Pakistan, which we are planning, that is our plan, that we have to start a currency exchange and join them with the travel agency, because many of the people who abroad, who are foreigner, they have to come to the currency exchange and exchange their money and almost give them. So it is our plan. So unfortunately, due to the policy of State Bank of Pakistan, we are not able to open an agency, and these are the only reasons. But
So I think, yeah, please go ahead.
but in many cases, I mean, I didn't get the profit. It's almost on break-even point. So these are the most headache things for me. That is my third business that I am starting, and I'm not going towards these goals which I have seen. So
So Arif,
sometimes,
yeah, you are asking amazingly good questions, and you have disclosed many of the challenges you faced personally. So if we go back to the drawing board where Aliki is making notes, so capital or what form of money or investment you need, and in what form is needed, that is also important to ask ourselves. Because besides who we are serving, what we are doing, we have to know how much in this case to get that you need like 5 to 6 million. The you may also need it in a certain currency which is not the currency of Pakistan. So a lot of these questions are very important too. And if you're going to get a bank loan, then how much guarantee do we have? If it is not a loan, then you will need investment, and who will give it to you, or is it a loan from a friend? So these kinds of questions are very important to ask. And my recommendation, Arif Mia, is to have a mentor. More than if you have a, just like to succeed in anything in our life, we need mentors, we need support. So if you can identify somebody who you see as a role model, somebody, maybe Rehan, maybe someone who you trust, completely trust, and who are not directly going to compete with you, they can answer and bring about these questions. Because making a company successful is a very, very difficult business. Out of 10 companies that start, barely 3 or 4 survive more than 5 years. So I'm not surprised that businesses fail, but to reduce the possibility or to increase the possibility of success, it is good to have mentors. It is good to have people you fully trust, because then it becomes not only your business, it becomes our business. Even if I may not give you one paisa, I may not give you any money, but if I start supporting you, there is my ego, there is even my feeling कि ये हमारा business है, ये आदित्य का business नहीं है, it is our business. We are in it together, and that will change the dynamics of the business. So may I ask you a question about the businesses you started? Did you have enough what we call sounding board? Maybe even a potential customer who will give you advice, maybe a vendor who will give you advice, and completely unrelated third parties who understand business process itself, who can support you. Did you have any kind of a group of people supporting you, Arif, or were you doing it alone?
no, sir, I am alone. I'm just starting this business with partnership. But I followed Rehan sir and Azad Chaiwala. They recently and many times they are saying that if you have the guts to start a new business, you don't need the money. You just need the courage to start it. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm an MBA student, and I have all these question in mind, and I was going to search these kind of things, and then I have to start the business.
Yeah.
But in many cases, sometimes I
Please go
don't
ahead.
understand. Please go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Arif Mia, I'm listening to you.
But sometime when you are going to search the market and certainly the policies has been changed, and what can you do? So
And
the
so we are facing one of the biggest challenges that humanity has faced right now. 90% of businesses have to be put on pause. What can anyone do? Whether it's Imran Khan, the great cricket player, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, or it's Modi, or it's Trump, they are very unwillingly putting a pause on all businesses today. है ना? So these are completely unexpected occurrences. So the best we can do is to plan. It is necessary to plan for the expecting the unexpected. मतलब हमारे कंट्रोल में सब कुछ तो नहीं होगा. If you asked me 2 months ago, I would not have imagined this coronavirus thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting in Mexico here. And now that I'm
Not
in
true.
Mexico, or Aliki is in Pakistan, or I have friends in totally different places than they were normally, right? How can they make the most of that time? Sitting in Mexico here, not even knowing much Spanish, I can be like, अरे यार मेरा नसीब फूटा है, but I have to understand that मेरा अकेले का नसीब नहीं. It is not just my destiny. Millions of people are facing the same problem around the world. So in business in particular, there will be many changes. When you started the travel business, you probably didn't know that this whole state bank will clamp down on extending credit or giving currency exchange. These are completely unexpected occurrences. So expecting the unexpected, वो कैसे कर सकते हैं? This is where getting mentors, this is where getting advisors is helpful. If you knew somebody at the bank and they said, Arif Mia, did you know कि कुछ policy changes आने वाले हैं? There will be changes in policy. So these are the kinds of things that we need to know well in advance. And we cannot plan for everything. It is not possible to plan for 100-year pandemic, but we can plan to have enough backup so that our family will not starve, that will not be giving galis, will not be upset. So Rehan, I can see is online. Maybe he can add to this. He's done a few businesses. Rehan Mia, can you tell us how you plan for the unexpected challenges in your business? We cannot hear you. Maybe you're on mute.
Yeah, the class teacher wants me to be mute, so I'm staying mute.
Tell us anything you want to say. How do you plan for the unexpected? Because this is a very realistic question.
Yeah, I don't plan anything anymore, so I'm good with everything.
Somehow he seems to be comfortable with any challenge. But when we are starting, as Professor Kadri was saying at the beginning, many of us are addicted to that day, mahine ka paycheck, pagar. In India, we call it pagar, I don't know what you call it in Pakistan, like guaranteed income, So if we are used to having that level of comfort, it is going to be very uncomfortable when you start a business. That's why I said, make sure you have enough support or backing, either financially or emotionally, or your family saying, "Theek hai, next 3 months, if you don't bring money, it's okay." Now you start with some confidence, ki I have 3 months. And how do I plan my activities so that within 3 months, I'll start getting a cash flow? Now, Rehan seems to be comfortable with any situation. Now, that's very rare, I have to say. When I came to Mexico, I knew there was a chance of a lockdown. My journey started in February in South Korea. As soon as I went to Korea, everybody had this mask. I said, and I don't know the language. I can only say "Annyeonghaseyo," "Kamsahamnida," like 3 words, 3 sentences in Korean. I said, better I have to go to a safer place. I went to San Francisco. Within a month, San Francisco was starting to go into a lockdown. So to answer your question, Arif, I had friends at the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation and at the universities, healthcare, who said, Shankar, if you want to travel, lockdown is coming. Go as fast as you can. I'm like, oh, you don't want me to stay at your home? They said, we would love you to stay at our home, but lockdown aa raha hai. The whole San Francisco is getting locked down. They told me in early February. So by mid-February, I was in Mexico. And my Mexican friends are now telling me, Shankar, if you want to leave, leave now because guess what? We could be having a lockdown. But India is in a lockdown. Most of California is in a lockdown. I said, okay, I will learn Spanish. And I learned, ¿cómo estás? Basic things, buenos dias, or, just, mucho gusto, so that I can survive in Mexico for the next 6 months. So the contingency planning cannot be done far ahead, especially at a time like this. Nobody can plan 6 months ahead. Aliki, how are you planning to survive in Pakistan? And Luciano, I don't know if you're in Pakistan or you're outside. Aliki, what is your plan for the next 6 months?
Oh, wow. I have no clue what is the plan for the next 6 months. I am more in the direction of Rehan. I'm like trying to planning actually day by day because the more the world is changing and it's becoming faster, the less easy it's actually to know what is going to happen. Um, Everything is becoming exponential, and that means that our challenges also will become exponential. So the only thing that we can actually learn for me is to be able to adapt. That's the
So,
biggest skill for whatever it comes.
so Aliki, again, to go deeper into the question that Arif asked, how are you adapting day to day with the situation that you're in right now? How are you adapting to your new, new circumstances?
So first of all, as you say, you just look where you are and you see around you what is needed, right? So actually what I did was practically something that probably Rehan was not very comfortable about. I started changing the house where we are. So I started literally by changing the room where I was to feel more comfortable because I thought that I might be staying here for a little bit longer than it seems. I start changing other rooms that might be needed in the future, start giving ideas and everything because that's all that was possible practically. We were locked down. When you're locked down, you're literally inside a house. So, and that if we relate it to bigger situations, like see from where you are what you can get out of it. Because sometimes you cannot prevent things from happening. We didn't choose the lockdown, but
So,
we are in this situation.
yeah, when in your business, when the state bank in Pakistan said, no more, we cannot give you licenses or currency exchange or IATA, that is the equivalent of a lockdown. So now you're getting almost locked down from certain things you can do in your business. So very important to adapt to the new situation.
I would
Now,
say, Shankar, if there was no lockdown, you wouldn't be sitting us right now with us. So it's because of this lockdown, Aliki has started this whole business, this training, this whole program. If there,
yes.
she was supposed to be
Sorry.
here for a few days, so I would, this whole thing would not have happened if there was no lockdown.
If
So
not, I
Aliki
will
would
live in the north
be
of Pakistan.
more lost than she is now.
As there's a saying in India and Pakistan. I don't know if you probably say it in slightly different words. जब खुदा देता है तो छप्पर फाड़ कर देता है. So in other
What is
words, when the divine or when God gives us, He will break your roof and throw abundance at you from the roof. So right now, yes, many of the business ideas are not going to survive, but God has given us a lot of time. And fortunately, most of us have internet connectivity. So we are sitting in this room right now, literally from 3 or 4 continents, right? I'm here in North America. Many of you are in Asia. Luciano, I don't know where he is right now.
Argentina, right?
Argentina, well, South America. You see, we have time and we have internet connectivity and we are going live. So maybe people literally from around the world can see this program going on. And as Rehan said, when we got shut out of other businesses, this new activity has started. Otherwise, I'll be happily learning salsa and be mixing with people in Mexico, going around sightseeing in Mexico. And I consider it my fortune. It is really a charisma. It is really a great gift that I'm sitting with you and talking. Otherwise, every time there was an opportunity to interact with Rehan, there's something face to face. I'm like, Arey yaar, baad mein, when I have nothing else to do, I'll do it. So I have nothing else to do. That's why I'm right now face to face with you. So God, the divine has created new opportunities for us, and we should be grateful rather than saying, "Oh my God, ये business नहीं चल रहा है, वो business नहीं चल रहा है. This is not working. That is not working." In a Mexican, they call it a huevo. You know, like you go with full energy towards what? Towards what is possible. We often get stuck in what is not possible. We often get
Yeah.
stuck in which customer will not buy. As Professor Kadri said earlier, there are almost 8 billion people in this world today, right? In that range. Even if coronavirus were to hurt, it won't hurt more than 1%. 99% will still be alive. The potential market is huge. So we have to narrow down to who we want to serve. For example, Rehan has taken on challenges like Institute of Peace, where the potential market is the whole of humanity and whole of life. Now, is it realistic that he can get 7 to 8 billion customers overnight? No. Is it necessary? No. He has to start where he is. He has to start with
Exactly.
where he is. Can you tell us, Rehan, about your Institute of Peace and how it's working under the current circumstances? How are you able to proceed when people are sitting at home right now?
So this is our season time. You know, it's our Christmas time. We're enjoying to the fullest extent because the Institute of Peace is all online. It's not a physical space, and everything we were doing is online. So before they were like, "Oh, we're so busy, we can't talk to you." Now everybody's so free; they can talk to us. Everybody has access to the internet. Everybody all of a sudden has time, as I said. So it's a fantastic time for peace building, for dialogue building. Yesterday, I called Ved Pratap Vedic, who is he's a very famous writer in India, and I wrote to him, "I need you to write an article about me." So I asked him, "Would you write an article about me because you're my friend when I'm dead?" He said, "Yes, of course I will write something, but why are you talking about article when I'm dead?" I said, "Can you write the article now? Because I need the article now, not after I'm dead. So I need you to write an article about me now that there is this crazy guy who wants a million people from India and Pakistan to start making friends on Facebook from each side of the border and go on live and just talk and just have a conversation and have their family actually understand." So, for example, you speak exactly the same language as I do, but apparently you don't know anything about Pakistan. It's the exact same language. You could have so many friends from here, and same goes for vice versa. So everything we are learning here can be used by India, and everything which is done by India can be used by us. So as I said, it's my season time. Everybody might be shut down, but we are growing like crazy. Things are doing fantastic for us. Business wise, also it's doing well because we are into internet related business and technology related business. We have started like 8 or 9 classes like this, and I just came from another class where we will start another 20 classes this week to teach everything we know online. So people now have time, and we are going to take advantage of this opportunity to teach them even more what we know and to dialogue more.
So
Thank you,
Arifmia,
Rehan.
the reason, sorry,
Sorry,
Aliki,
we
please go
have to start concluding slowly because we passed our time. But I would just like
Shankar
to
bhai
go.
loves to talk. So after this, can you do one-on-one with me?
I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Yes. We've never
I
done
would
a
like, please,
on
Shankar,
video.
go. Shankar, would you like to share something?
Oh no, I just want to say that this is where flexibility comes in Arithmia. A business that probably for Institute of Peace, where I had no time for Rehan. And I'm sure Rehan had no time because we were all busy in our work,
I had
right?
time for you. How did you dare you said that? I always have time for my friends.
No, no, no. So I had time online. In other words, we would chat or write to each other. I would like his posts and all that. But I was very busy doing things with people in India. And then when I was in the Bay Area, I was people with people in the Bay Area. And I've never come to Pakistan. So almost all my engagement had a physical element, matlab face to face. But when I was forced to be at my home alone for a whole week, then when Carla came forward and said, "Now do you have time for an interview?" I said, "Absolutely." The next thing she says is, "Now talk to Rehan." I said, "Okay." Then we talk on the phone or we talk on WhatsApp. And then Aliki gets introduced. This is how magic happens. This is what I was saying earlier. जब भगवान देता है, खुदा देता है तो छप्पर फाड़ कर देता है. You never know when the right chemistry for your particular business or entity will be. So you have to be prepared even to
भगवान
go
is
for
always given छप्पर फाड़ के हम लेने ही नहीं खड़े होते हम
exactly.
लेने वाले नहीं
Exactly.
होते
If Institute of Peace, if Rehan said, "Array is growing too slowly, maybe I'll just close it," then this opportunity would never arise. The pandemic is something each one of us are seeing, and for the first time we are saying this virus doesn't need a passport. This virus doesn't need a visa. This virus doesn't even care whether it is the prime minister of England or it is the guy in your muhalla. You know that Pakistani doctors have been infected in London right now. So
Nice.
this is where new opportunities are getting created. Can we create businesses that can be done from home? Can we create something to contribute to the health and happiness of people? Can we create food for people who don't have food right now? For example, doctors who are working day and night and provide them with what is needed. It is not all about getting cash in return. It's not all about money. So Rehan can tell us what is it that he gets when he does the Institute of Peace. It is not cash. So what is it that you are getting back in return for your time and energy invested in the Institute of Peace?
I think Aliki is gonna kick my ass if we don't end this. Let's end it and you come
I
live
have
one-on-one with me and we talk.
I would like just to go back and say that today we were talking about understanding your customer, and understanding your customer is practically talking to them. It's the best time ever to actually find people that have time and ask them about your business, how they like your service, how they would like a new product to say. So like it's the best time that everybody has time to talk. So whoever would have told you, I don't have time right now, engage with them and understand what they need from your business. So by the time we are ready to go back to normal or kind of normal or a new normal, you know exactly what they need. And then you will be 10 steps ahead instead of one. So thank you so much for being here, all of you. Thank you, Shankar, for your contribution. Thank you, Rehan, for being here. Shagufta, Luciano, Arif, is everybody here? Professor Pai, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow at 9. I will write you in the WhatsApp group. Sorry?
It's my phone, sorry.
Okay. I thought somebody was talking to me. Okay.
Luciano,
So,
hello.
Hello. Hello, teacher.
How are you? Good to see you
Fine.
finally on camera, man.
yeah, it's great to have you
Repítela.
here. So, We will see all of you tomorrow. I will send you a link as always in WhatsApp. Your assignment for tomorrow is what is the problem I'm trying to solve and who has these problems? Who is my audience? So thank you so much for the contribution. Thank you for all your ideas and your questions. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Have a good night.
So, shukriya, muchas gracias, amigo. And I'm so grateful to be in front of all of you. Inshallah, milenge, maybe in this class or in some other forum. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on what else? WhatsApp also. Rehan and Aliki know how to get hold of me if you need to get hold of me. Thank you.
See you.
See you.
Bye.
Okay.